Now, our next guest has sold 20 million records worldwide with a career spanning the last 25 years.
And he's still churning them out. Yes, legend Craig David joins us now from what looks like a nightclub. Good morning to you, Craig. Before we chat to you, though, before we chat to you, let's get a flavour of your hits. For a drink on Tuesday, we were making love by Wednesday, and on Thursday and Friday and Saturday we chilled on Sunday. Why were you creeping round late last night? But I see two shadows moving in your bedroom light. Now you're dressed in black. When I left you were dressed in white. Can you feel me? Come and save me. Come and send it now, sending out an S.O.S. for you. I'm right here waiting for you.
Craig David, a pleasure to have you with us this morning. Thank you so much. That's your latest song, S.O.S. Why are you sending out an S.O.S? What happened to your car?
Car's broken down.
The car, are you all right?
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes when the car's not starting, you've got to send out that quick S.O.S. Do you know what I mean? But by the way, do you know what? It's funny because that gives that throwback to the first album and 7 Days, where a similar thing happens there in that car. So it's kind of a little nod back to the first album as well.
Oh,
I like that, full circle.
So full, and 25 years later, I suppose, like 25 years since that album, it's actually incredible, the two of us just going back. How have you been? Is it amazing looking back on those 25 years and seeing where you've gone?
Yeah, man. Do you know what? It's such a beautiful journey. I've got to meet so many incredible people along the way. And when you have such lovely anecdotes and stories from people who've come to different shows and they've listened to different albums, and they'll say that they met their partner or they were on this holiday together and this was their song for that summer. People got married to certain songs, and I'm just like, you know what? Isn't that the beauty of what the gift that music gives? So I'm just really grateful, man.
But the fact that the songs have stayed in the zeitgeist, like that's the thing. If I heard that, you know, at a wedding at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. The fact is you look the same as well, which is crazy 25 years later.
Thank you.
You can't have known that they would have that sort of an impact. But the fact that something like that does, because you've worked with some legends throughout your time, is there, can you look back now and be like, well, the secret of that great song is, like, what is it? Why have they lasted so long?
You know what, Marin? It's hard to know what that exact thing is, that X factor, but there's a feeling that you get, I think with anything, like across all different careers, when you just get this kind of, for me, when I come out of the studio and there's just that moment where I'm like, I'm getting that feeling that tells me that something's special here. And I don't get that with every single song. I'll get like, yeah, it's a good song, but there's certain ones that you're like, I got that with 7 Days. I got that with Walking Away, with Rise and Fall, with Nothing Like This. And then when you hear the songs connect in the way to other people, you think, okay, that's the litmus test. But yeah, I'm just so grateful that I can do this for 25 years and still touch people's hearts. It's cool.
It's not just us, though, reminiscing 25 years ago, because the success of your pool parties at Ibiza Rock, TS5 that you have over there, like you've reinvented yourself. It's like the destination place to go to. And now all like Gen Zers, all these young ones are all singing all those great classic hits as well. Yeah,
it feels like it's transcended from being like, I know, the 18-year-old kid who'd be like, oh, my brother or sister was listening to Rewind or 7 Days from your first album. It's like their juncture point is like maybe when the bass line drops with Big Nasty, or it may even be the new single S.O.S. I just feel like that's what's quite amazing, because on my arena tours, I've seen across demographic of people, the young kids wanting to mosh at the front, and then you've got like someone who's there from day one who's like, maybe I'll be up in sit down for this one, you know what I mean? Let me enjoy walking away. The knees are hitting differently now, you know what I mean?
But it's kind of the longevity that you've had, it's spectacular and so much success at the minute. But obviously you've gone through your ups and downs with fame and with success. So dealing with all of that over the years, of course, you've got great perspective now. What was it like when you were going through it?
Do you know what? I mean, it's funny you say that, because writing the book, I've got a book called What's Your Vibe, and it was a really cathartic process to be able to talk about all of my experiences, like from the start growing up, which led into people pleasing and imposter syndrome and different mental health, depression along the way, and then finding solace and practicing a bit of power of the pause, where you just got to just take a breather and have a bit of patience and then ride the wave again. I feel that experience becomes wisdom, and then you can share that with people. So as the harder times, they can really push up against a lot of us in all different facets. But when you get through it and you look back in hindsight, like I said, it becomes wisdom, and you can hopefully share that with other people and help them through their situations they go through.
Do you do that? Like, has the music industry changed? Is it trying to be a bit kinder? It's hard to think that it is, but like, are they trying to actually look after young artists or mental health, that sort of things, compared to, say, 20 years ago?
I feel now that, I mean, especially with social media and the beauty of it, and there's always going to be the ups and downs and the good and bad that you can invest your time into on social media. But I feel there's a lot of advocates now who are sharing their vulnerability, because there's a power in that. Brené Brown has a beautiful book called The Power of Vulnerability, where she shows there's power in that, sharing your sensitive side. Like the times of men saying to other men, "Oh, just man up and just get through it." It's like, no, forget the man up now. Let's talk about these things. Let's share these situations, because when you see male suicide rates skyrocketing, it's because no one wants to talk. And yet there are so many wonderful men and wonderful women who are sharing their stories and making everyone feel seen. And I feel like that's now the new way in which we've got people who are in positions of power to share the harder times, as opposed to it all looks all glossy, you know?
And I'd say at 3 o'clock in the morning on Ibiza Rocks, they're sharing more than just the power of positivity, but fair play to them. That's what they need. There's one aspect of your life that I hadn't realised, and this is it clairorient, or are you some form of clairvoyant?
Clairvoyant. Well, tell your fortune. No, do you know what? It's more, I'm just really in tune with my intuition, which everybody has. And I've even got my last album, or the album before, called Following My Intuition. And it's just something that I'm just very tapped in. So rather before thinking about things and kind of getting very heady, I just really just follow my heart with stuff. And weird and wonderful things can come from doing that. I think we've all had an experience when you walk into a room, you get a gut feeling like it's about to kick off in here. I got a bad vibe, I need to leave. And then the following day you find out that it did kick off. It's as simple as that. So I just always wanted to pull that out of people and say, yeah, follow your intuition. But you've got it, it's inside of you.
I thought that you'd done an interview before to say that you hear people from the past and future. Is that not right?
Well, it's like an interstellar vibe, which is a great movie, by the way. One of the best movies out there. Do you know what? Do you know what? It's funny. Yeah, it's just like, I find, like, you know, when you see like billboards or you see like numbers on a license plate, I always try and like let people know that when you're thinking of someone, like, I know someone may have passed away, and then you see the message that comes up on a bus that's going past you that answers the question that you were posing at the time, that's the way that people can talk to you. And it just, I feel, gives people solace when they've lost people, that it just says, you know what, that's actually not as far away as you think. Because people are losing people all the time, you know. I
actually do that all the time, that sort of Amelie thing, like the next thing is going to be my answer to what I'm asking in my head. So I completely get what you're saying. Throughout your life, you know, you've been in charge of your career for so much. You are very much in control of what you do right now. So what's in the future for you? Because obviously you're back doing all sorts of music, but having learned from probably burnout from the past, is everything on your terms now?
Yeah, I mean, I think that what you do is, it's a bit like, I guess, using like the Wizard of Oz. It's like, you know, Dorothy has to go through all those different fragmented parts of the Tin Man and the Scarecrow and find the courage from the lion, to just find out that she could have always just clicked her heels and come back home, right? So it's just, we go through this journey of just finding all these fragments, bringing them home and recognizing, like, oh, okay, just be authentically you and enjoy what you do. And you'll be tested along the way. But just enjoy that, and don't feel like there's some authority out there, like the wizard, that's going to say, yeah, but you need a diploma to get that thing, or you need this. No, you're more than enough. And I feel like that's a part of what I now bring to the table, to share with younger artists and younger people, and say, listen, no, you're good. You're all right. Just keep doing what you're doing. You'll get there.
And you've learned from other artists as well. I mean, you had a song with Sting years ago as well, and I believe he taught you a bit of an unusual hobby that maybe you were in the prime, you were young, you were wanting to be energetic, where he was like, do you know what, maybe slow down, try this. What was the hobby that you and Sting bonded together over?
Well, yeah, we did the Rise and Fall video together, and there was breaks in between, and he was just like, he pulled me over and said, like, you see this, son? I was like, what's it? He pulled out the crossword on me. He's like, okay, let's go in. And I'm like, talk about a man like the legend Sting. He was showing how he was keeping his mind sharp. He's like, you know what? This downtime is not downtime. I want to keep my mind sharp. And I saw him recently. We did a show in Preston last year, and he's just such a beautiful stand-up guy. Like, he was waiting in my dressing room while I was performing to meet me when I came off stage. And I'm coming back on the buggy, and I see someone on the walkie-talkie saying, Sting's waiting for you outside your dressing room. I'm like, Sting is waiting. The word waiting. No, we don't. No one waits for Sting. I come back. Guy gives me the biggest hug ever. And I'm like, you're just a legend, man. It's people like that inspire me as well. So he's beautiful.
We want to have you in studio next time because we need somebody to help us out with a few of our crosswords here. The lads, any help would be badly needed.
Yeah, people keep talking about Sting and his tantra. We need to know that he teaches people crosswords. That's the important thing.
That's the balance, right? You've got to balance it out. Tantra and crosswords, you've got it locked then.
Your brand new single, which we heard at the top of this interview, which is a banger, by the way, S.O.S. It's out tomorrow, Friday, the 17th of January. And Craig David, if you're going to Ibiza this year, he will be there lashing it out at Ibiza Rocks, and you're all over the place. It has been a pleasure talking to you, Craig. Thanks a million.
Thank you. Lots of love. Appreciate you.
Thanks so much.